Morning.
Good morning, Tim.
Good
How
morning.
are
How are
you?
you?
Good
I'm
morning.
very well, thank you, my lovely. Very well indeed. Happy Friday.
Happy
Thank you for
Friday.
joining me on this Friday Ascension update. And as you can see,
Thank you.
we did try the woods, but I got eaten alive by midges. And so I'm now by Loch Lomond.
Like quick journey, wasn't
Quick journey,
it?
very quick journey, very quick journey.
Ah,
We've just been kind of discussing the energy intricacies, and you've been telling me all about these wonderful kind of spiritual dates and moons and retrogrades and all of this other kind of um, fun and games that we've got going on.
oh, I'm really excited for it. It is fun and games. It is absolutely fun and games. And I personally am really excited for it. And I wonder if you are too, because with all this Capricorn energy, all this Saturn energy, perhaps, we are getting some really powerful karmic invitations, right?
Mhm.
Mhm. And
Mhm.
so I think, and of course, this is your Friday video, but I think is that's what we're going to be talking about today, is it?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's on the menu massively.
Okay. Okay. So shall I just go
Yeah,
with it?
yeah. Go with it. Go with it.
Okay.
Let's hear all about it.
Okay. So we are at a really powerful time. You hear us say that a lot. Of course, energy is always changing. There's always energy. Everything is energy. But right now we've got this real beautifully powerful and poignant invitation of Saturn energy. So, of course, we have Saturn retrograde beginning around now until November. Now,
And
that would
November.
be,
Oh, that's a lot.
yeah, Saturn's usually a good few months, right? Saturn's usually a good few months. All the further out planets, they kind of, they'll spend half a year there if
At
they
the
can.
time.
They love it,
Mm.
and that'd be well and true and just absolutely, dandy if we didn't also have now the other Saturn elements. So, of course, this year we always have 13 moons in a year, right? So every now and then we're going to have two full moons or two moons of the same type in one month or in one space. And we have a full moon in Capricorn that just happened, and then we're going to have another full moon in Capricorn. Once again, Capricorn ruled by Saturn. So now
Bonus.
we've got this extra side, this extra aspect. So not just are we in Saturn retrograde from about now, but we also have our feminine energy, our emotional side, our subtle energy of the moon being invited also to revisit the emotional aspects of Saturn energy
Yeah.
within us and therefore karma.
Okay.
So all this happening straight after a solstice, which for most of the viewers on this channel and on my channel, most of the viewers are in the Northern Hemisphere, which
Mhm.
is the summer solstice that's just happened, the most illuminating time, the longest day, this masculine time. So, really, we've got all this very powerful leadership, masculine energy being revisited under the theme of karma and time. And I don't know about you, Tim, because I know a lot of people might be going, oh my God, it's already really intense, what on earth? But I'm actually very, very excited because I like the invitations that we get here to revisit our mind, our karma, our beliefs, our conviction, all these aspects of masculine energy within us. And just to list off a few before I bounce it back to you, you know, masculine energy in its divinity, we're looking at things like, and especially Saturn energy, we're looking at things like discipline. What is healthy discipline? What is unhealthy discipline? Right? We're looking at conviction, accountability, resolve. We're looking at action. We're looking at thoughts. We're looking at process. We're
Mm.
looking at all these ways that we are creating and actually offering the energy out there. And with the aspect of karma coming up as well, you're going to perhaps already be feeling your body might be responding, your body might be in pain or going through something. I think we're all going through something uniquely anyway. Your nervous system and electrical circuitry is getting a full invitation to rewrite. Your mind and how you use your mind, the thoughts, the behaviors, the things that you have had imprinted within yourself throughout your lifetime, they're also going to be coming up. But we also have this extra layer, and this is where I think it's going to be super interesting for everyone watching this video, is that because Saturn's retrograde in Pisces, we now have this spiritual aspect, spiritual beliefs, dreams, things like that. So there's a lot of really fascinating things that are coming up, and I know that I've seen that in with my clients that I've had live appointments with, and everyone's bringing something up that's very it kind of feels a bit heavy, and it's like, how do I break the shackles of whatever this is, break the bindings? But that's what the divine masculine does, is he creates freedom through healthy containment, right? So he is freedom, and the feminine is love. That's tantra, that's union, that's sacred union, So we've got this already starting to build up, and we're not even really fully at the point where Saturn goes retrograde yet. So it's going to be a very, very intense month, perhaps. Yep. Very intense Lionsgate this year because of that. Because Saturn to most people it can be very constricting, right? The energy can be very, because you're feeling the discipline.
When people kind of hear the word Saturn tests, they usually kind of like, oh my God, that if you think a Mercury retrograde is challenging, then a Saturn test or a Saturn retrograde or anything to do with that particular movement of the planet, it can really rattle cages because you have to change.
Yeah.
You have to make the shifts. And I'm seeing that theme. I love what you're saying here about the kind of the containment of responsibility. Everything, we can no longer look at the world around us and go, oh, this has happened and that's happened and it's not my fault. We've got to bring it back to center.
Yeah.
Actually take responsibility for everything that's occurring in our worlds. And that is always the most difficult lesson. That's the one that challenges us again and again and again, and that we have to return to. And 2024, and I know we've discussed this before, is the year that we have to make the changes. There's no more options available. So
absolutely, like the choices that we've made in the past are going to come back, especially in the next few weeks, next few months. So however far back those choices were, don't try not to be afraid of the daunting possibility of karma revisiting. The thing about Saturn energy is it's very practical as well. Capricorn energy, very practical. And it has to be, because we are here on Earth on a physical plane, right? If this was only about the mind, then we wouldn't need a body to, experience it. And the mind is only really connected to the body in the way that we use it anyway on Earth. So every choice and every decision that we have made is going to come back up for us to choose to respond differently. So with what I think is beautiful is, especially in these 4 weeks with the 2 full moons in Capricorn, is that we're having this invitation of balance as well, because the moon is involved. It's now inviting the feminine aspect to go, okay, well, let's come into union here. Let's come into balance and harmony. Okay, well, what actions have I taken? What actions have I ever taken? What resolve and conviction have I had or not had? And how have I expressed that to do with emotions as well? Right? So anytime that we've been out of balance with our emotions, anytime that we've created thoughts, so whether it's subtle, whether it's deep, whether it's unconscious and subconscious, because this is bringing up your unconscious and your subconscious. This is the shadow time. This is the shadow work, right? But don't be daunted by it. It's good, because the thing about revisiting things like this is that you get to see it from the perspective of your now eyes. You get to see it from your current incarnated perspective. All the work that you've done, you have new tools, you have new processes, you have new thoughts and new ways about resolving things and owning things. And unless we choose to own all of our actions, all of our thoughts, including the thoughts that might make us want to project our blame onto someone or something, as soon as we choose to own it, the power comes back to us. That's the first major step. And then karma physically releases as well, not just metaphysically, but it physically releases from the body, from the field around us,
And that's when the physical changes take place. That's when we start to actually resolve the physical issues that many of us feel that are weighing us down. Like it it becomes really real, or it became really real on a major level when the energy work turned into physical work.
Mm.
And it's you've kind of like confirmed a point that I've heard kind of coming up for me quite regularly, that shadow work is now everyday life. It's not something that you have to kind of go and dig and seek for. The opportunities to work through that are here. They're on the table in front of us. You either deal with it, or it becomes stuck in your fields, and your body will then tell you that this needs to be dealt with. So it is a time of, it's a huge time of responsibility, but softened by that feminine energy that's coming in. I mean,
Yeah.
like with the double bonus of the Capricorn moon, of course.
And I think Tim, you and I, we both have a Capricorn North Node. So like, I think for us, we're kind of going,
Yeah,
yeah, let's go, let's go. This is our Dharma, let's go.
that drive,
Yeah.
impetus to get there, sort of thing, and
Yeah.
to make the achievements. And yeah, it's a good spot to have.
Yeah. But I want to just touch upon as well, if this is okay, something that you just said about the physical body, because I think this might resonate for everyone watching right now. The physical body is going to be releasing things it's not been able to before. So the thoughts, the beliefs, the experiences that we've had long times ago that have been so deep in the unconscious.
Mm-hmm.
And when Tim and I did our event in Leamington in February, we spoke about this. We had a whole segment on this, about the layers of the mind and where they show up. The unconscious aspects of self, the things that project back to us and reflect back to us through others. Whether they intend it or not, we will see it only as our shadow if it's a challenge, right? But then when it comes into the body and it's making noise in the body, like pain or like discomfort, now something has gone from the unconscious part of you, so far removed, it's come up into the subconscious part, because the body reflects the subconscious. When it's in the subconscious, it is so accessible to actually rise up, be illuminated by the light of your consciousness. Yeah, go, oh, where's it gone? Be illuminated by the light of your consciousness, and then heal, because all the stories that we've created, whether we realize they're stories or not, all they need in order to heal is to be fully witnessed and seen, so that they can come up, come out. And when we see it for what it is, rather than with the emotional charge or the attachment we've put on it, it heals itself. It does its own alchemy.
Absolutely. I like
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So it's
like
like
that.
everyone's going to have stuff going on. I mean, I've got a lot of physical stuff going on right now. And it's like,
Yeah, me too.
I'm excited about it. I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm in so much pain. This is great. I'm like clearing something. Like, oh gosh.
Thank God. Yeah. It's
So,
it's, I mean, we had to bring levity into the situation for where we are on the, or where we are on this ascension pathway at the moment. It really is quite incredible in that. And if you thought the first 6 months of this year were powerful, we're just about to step into. It's always my favorite because it catches me so unawares, Alice. The
oh,
Sirius
really?
every
Because we're
year.
there. We're there,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
I think
A few
first of
days away.
July.
Yeah.
It's days away,
Mm.
and it's a very, very powerful interlude in between the solstice and the Lion's Gate. And of course, as soon as the sun ticks into Leo, you get the
Mhm.
build up for the gateway, and everybody's looking at this. So,
Mhm.
what are we going to achieve this year? What are we expecting
Yeah.
from this particular Lion's Gate? Are we nervous? Are we pensive? Or are we
Mhm.
excited and bringing that through? I think that's a very, very important thing to be looking at, is how we are viewing our experience on this planet at the moment, and how that's affecting how we then project that into our reality.
And I think as well, you touched upon something really powerful just by mentioning kind of where we're at and then going into Leo season. Now,
Mm,
if we look at the themes of, for example, a Saturn retrograde, or just all this invitation to release our karma, because it opens us up to the next level of ascension. It opens us up tangibly, physically, to the next level of awakening. And let's not forget, we are in Cancer season right now,
mm,
right? We're in Cancer season. That's the mother, that's the moon. She opposes Capricorn, right? So now you've got the masculine energy and the feminine energy. it's not usually like this with this much of the masculine energy present. But if we allow ourselves just for a little moment to look at, okay, well, if we're going to go into Leo season and we're in Cancer season, the zodiac archetypes, they have real strengths, but then they all have opportunities, right?
Yeah.
They all have the shadow sides or the wounded sides. So if we look at the season that we're in, Cancer season, okay, well, what's some of the wounds of Cancer? Well, perhaps manipulation, right? Because that's a wounded feminine trait, is this manipulation aspect, this like holding on, holding on, holding on, not being able to unattach emotionally, right? So you've got this extra little subtle layer that's really helping as well focus some of the themes that you may come up with. But then when we go into Leo season, now we move into the heart space. Now we move into that inner sun, but then some of the wounds of Leo that may show up as well as we progress through that, because there is going to be this kind of this very gentle stream of a theme. But then you have this pride aspect that can come up in Leo's wound, right? And that's a masculine shadow. Right. So then, it invites us to look at the mind as well, even though the Leo's about the heart. It's about the mind-heart connection. It's about our thoughts. It's about what we believe about things. How attached are we? How much duality are we creating through feeling pride, for example? Because it's going to come up for everyone in some way.
Yeah, of course we do. We're human.
Because that's when you get that sun card come through, though, isn't it? That's when you get that beautiful energy of the heart. It's like the beat of your life come through it.
Love it. Love it. And considering that all of this very, very powerful energy is taking place, I mean, many of you watching will have attended Alice and I's workshops when we've done them online previously. And when you sign up to them, you know what you're going to get. You're going to get like an extremely powerful series of activations. And we've got one coming up on the 11th of July, haven't we, Alice?
Yes, we have.
We have concluded that it would be a really beautiful thing to do to offer a slightly different space for this one. So
Yes.
for those of you that are feeling guided to join us on the 11th of July, and the details will be underneath this video, this is going to be a nurturing and healing cocoon space. So it's the kind of online event where you can bring your yoga mat, your cushions, your pillows, have your crystals lying on your heart, and you can just lie back and receive. And I believe and feel, and Alice feels this very strongly as well, that's what we need at this moment to help integrate all of this very, very intensive energy that's going, all of this physical, what we're having to face, what's coming up, the shadow work, and also the just simply the intensity of the season that we are existing in at the moment. So yeah, watch this space.
Watch this space indeed. We're really moved and touched to be able to offer this very soothing and nourishing and replenishing experience. We're still going to be working with some of our dear non-physical friends, whether they're the angelics or whether they're some of the star beings. Tim's looking around for them. Where are they?
Come on.
But there's some really beautiful energies that are here, that are coming through, that are ready for you to connect with them and feel them more deeply than perhaps before. And whenever you do a workshop with Tim and I, as you know, or with anyone for that matter, really, whatever the energies that are coming through are, when you have the space held by the facilitators of a workshop, and the energy that you're feeling and connecting with has its chance to come through to you when you're feeling as safe and held as you are in those spaces, then it makes a pathway, it makes a connection. It means that it's easier for you to connect further. And for those that are asking for the event description, there are some wonderful star beings that we mentioned here, and some people are asking, well, who are they? Who are the Hyperboreans? Because we mentioned that. Obviously, you've all heard of the Venusians, Andromedans, Pleiadians, but when you're on the workshop, you'll connect deeper with whomever is being brought through. So if that's the Hyperboreans and you're asking about them, come to the workshop, because their light very much travels on the rainbow rays, and you'll really enjoy that as well. But yeah, what else, Tim? What else do we usually bring through for a Friday Ascension update? What do people need?
It's generally the question I hear and the question I often or my subconscious body, or almost my shadow side is asking is, what's coming next? What can I expect? What, like, am I ready for the world as it's presenting itself? And
Oh,
the message this morning is very much just be in flow. If you need to go inside, go inside. If you need to be out in nature, do it. Mother Earth is really upping her connection with us at the moment.
yes.
And so allow yourself the space and the time to integrate. Okay, this is what I can always predict very much what's going on out in the field by what I personally need. And so, because we're all the same, we're all interconnected. This field is very much more unified than it used to be. And with the rising frequency, we need different things. And so, as we navigate what we need on a higher level, that requires us to step back and just begin to listen with your body, listen with your soul, listen with your nervous system. Like Alice mentioned, the pain earlier on, that is a message for you to tune in and listen. So whatever you are feeling and whatever you are integrating, whatever you are moving through, whatever you are expecting at this moment in time, step back and listen.
Yeah.
That's the message.
That's the message. Really nice. What I hope might help anyone watching this is just this question that you can ask yourself, because we move through with greater ease when we utilize the cosmic invitations. So if there is this energy of Saturn retrograde, of the Capricorn energy, obviously overlaid with the Cancer and Leo season, you're going to find that it's much easier if you ask a question like a Capricorn would. So if Capricorn in its healthy state would be saying, okay, well, I'm going to have resolve, I'm going to have discipline, I'm going to have conviction, so I can be the leader that leads not only myself but others, then really the question to ask whenever triggered, whenever reacting, as soon as you are aware that you're reacting, is, oh, how have I created this? Why would I choose to create this? And that could be a triggering question in itself, because oftentimes if it's triggering, then we don't want to take the responsibility and accountability. But this is the fast track method now with this energy here. Why would I create this?
Yeah.
Why would I choose this? My higher self chose this for a reason. So there's something here that I might not be aware of. I might be misunderstanding. So why would I choose this? And then all your center of gravity, your compass point, comes right back here. Yeah, true north.
Brilliant.
Yeah, to help.
It certainly does, and I think that's a beautiful, beautiful bit of advice to finish on, Alice. Thank you so much for joining me.
Very welcome. Thank you, Tim. Thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure, a real gift.
Oh, bless your heart. And
sending
you all so much love today. And the details to kind of jump on with Alice and I on the 11th will be underneath this video once it's uploaded to Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, all the usual portals. And once again, Alice, thank you, my lovely.
Thank you, Tim.
Lots of love, everyone. Bye for now.
Bye.